One thing about working where I work is that I'm listening to the radio about 7 hours a day, and it's really infuriating. Like, the local radio station seems to play about the same 10 songs every day. When Adele was releasing her new album or whatever, like every other song was Adele, and I think it got to a point where we were just turning the radio off because we couldn't stand it. However, there is a particular genre of like the newer songs that are coming out that are always on the radio. And this particular genre is like mental health songs, except they're told specifically from the viewpoint of the romantic partner of the depressed person. And oh my god, they are just mind-numbing. I hate them so much. All they do is like make some strange metaphors about darkness and light and lighthouses and storms and everything, and it's just so patronising and also incredibly useless. Like, it offers no advice. It's like, oh my god, I will love you and then you will feel better and I will cure your depression with my love and smooches. Like, that's not how it works. Like, particular examples of this song is like Better Days by Dermot Kennedy. That song, they play it non-stop on the radio, and each time it makes me more depressed because it sounds so miserable. And it's like, just wait for better days. It's like, no. Waiting is the exact opposite of what you want to do when you are depressed. If you just wait and hope that the magical depression fairy is going to come along and just heal you, it's not going to happen. It's something you have to work on. Waiting is just going to... Waiting is not going to help. It will make you more depressed. If you want change, you have to work for change. And if you want to recover, you've got to work for that recovery. And waiting is literally the worst advice. Also, the whole storm metaphor, like, oh, you're like waiting in the rain. Don't worry, it'll pass soon. It's like, stop standing in the rain. Go get your coat. Go get shelter. Go do a puzzle while you're waiting for the rain to pass, you know? There's things you can do other than standing there in the rain. And you can take that as a metaphor. Like, stop sitting there in your misery. I know it's difficult, but trust me, you'll feel a lot better when you put a coat on. Sorry, this whole thing just makes me really angry. They're like the least helpful depression songs, you know? And the thing is, they're pretty much the only songs about recovery that I hear in popular music. It's always, I'm going to fix you. Look, I'll turn the light on my lighthouse, and then you'll be miraculously cured from the depression because I've put the light on in your life and shown you the beautiful things, and that has therefore cured your brain. I don't know, yeah. There was a George Ezra song that came out recently, and he's like, let me be in the darkness of light, in the darkness of the night, let me be your light. And it's like, no, stop. It's not helpful. You are not going to cure your romantic partner of depression simply by giving them a smooch. It's not how it works. You can support them, you can encourage them, and you can offer them, you know, your love and support, obviously. You can give them advice and you can be there to support them through the recovery, but you're not going to just cure them by going, I love you. That's not going to fix them. It's a long process, it's not an instant fix. Do not think that because your partner's struggling with their mental health that your existence is going to just immediately fix it. It's not. And for some reason, all these songs, I think there's a Pink song that's very similar, a couple of other whiny, depressing songs that are like, oh, why didn't you tell me how you were feeling? I could have like fixed you because I fixed the depression. There's a couple of songs like that, and they just, they don't make you feel any happier, they just make you more depressed. The only one that's like talking about a depressed person from someone else's perspective is Shine by like Take That. Like, that's a banger. And like, it kind of just, instead of being that like, I will fix you, he's like, fix yourself because I love you and you need to get fixed. I can't fix it for you though, you got to do it. So it's sort of like, it's a lot more encouraging, and also the song actually makes you happy rather than sad, because making recovery music that sounds depressing, that doesn't quite add up to me. No offence, but it doesn't. Anyway, back to the title of the video. What do J-pop idols get right about mental health? And that... Okay, this is a whole can of worms actually, but this is not talking about like the various stresses and scandals of J-pop idols. This is specifically talking about the songs and the lyrics. Specifically Hello Project and Love Live, because they're the only two groups or franchises that I follow. Basically, as I've noticed in a lot of Hello Project songs, they also write about depression, though it is sort of, you know, a bit more watered down, shall I say? You know, it's not as on the nose as a lot of the songs on the radio are, where it's not like explicitly saying it, but it's very much heavily implied that they're talking about mental health and they're talking about depression and anxiety and all sorts. However, unlike the songs on the radio, these are songs about recovery, but they are focused from the perspective of the person with depression, instead of the person who's in love with the person with depression. So they are songs about someone recovering themselves, which I think is a very important message, because I don't really know any other genre of music that's had songs like this that are, apart from, I don't know, Beyonce, I'm a Survivor, which is more of a breakup song, but also very good mental health anthem if you're feeling low, like, you know, you're a survivor. That's the kind of recovery music you want to listen to when you're down. You do not want to hear about someone saying, oh, just wait for better days, you'll be better soon, yeah. Wow. No. You want something that's going to tell you that you're a girl boss, or... Anyway, back on track to the actual J-pop idol songs, and not Beyonce. One of the songs I like to listen to when I'm feeling low is Oh My Wish by Morning Musume. One of the lyrics that sticks in my head is, in order to shine like a diamond, you have to do things. And it's just that sort of reminder that if you want to make improvements in yourself, in your mood, in anything, you've got to work on it. Oh my wish, susume, go for it, itome. Oh my wish, 自分を磨け。わかるだろう、進むべき道へ、キラキラと輝くためにすべきこと。You're not just going to sit there and think it's going to happen out of nowhere. If you want change, you have to make it happen. And that's something that I always think is very important to remember for myself. If I want to get better at something, I need to do it more. I know it sounds really stupid. You'd be like, yeah, well, that's obvious. But like when you're really depressed, that is something that you have to remind yourself. You're like, if I want to be happier, I've got to work on this. And while a lot of the idol lyrics tend to be probably more about their struggles as an idol and how much hard work they have to put in, you can sort of adapt their sort of messages to your own life, and I find them to be really inspiring. And sometimes I just sit there and listen to a whole load of music videos, like the modern ones when they still had the captions, and it just really, you know, puts things into perspective for me, and basically a weird form of therapy. Another group that I really like to listen to is Kabushi Factory. They disbanded in 2020, still not over it, but their songs are incredibly important to me, and they're so full of like self-empowerment and just self-love, and I just love them. Like, there's so many lyrics, I can't choose them. I will just put some on the screen that you can see, because they're just, oh, they're so amazing. たまには辛くて長い冬もあるさ前 quote from them that I have in my Instagram bio is "Become the flower that signals springtime." And it's sort of the opposite of a lot of the songs I hear on the radio. On the radio, it's always from someone else's perspective, trying to fix someone with depression. And, you know, thinking that they're gonna be able to help someone who's depressed even though they're not depressed and don't really understand what's going on. Whereas in the Kabushi no Hana, the magnolia flower, the Become a Flower That Signals Springtime is about leading your friends and the people you care about into like the future and towards a better life and everything. Basically embodying hope and inspiring other people. That's essentially what it is. Like, be that flower that blooms right at the beginning of spring and shows people that there is a better way, that things are going to get better. And I really wanted to, I really wanted to take that on board because I thought it was a really sweet message, and I know I'm not wording it very well or anything, but it's they have so many amazing quotes, and that one's definitely sort of stuck with me, wanting to make change and wanting to inspire others, and that's essentially what that quote means. That even though you're struggling, you're going to show people that there is a way out. And that just gets to me, I just want to show people that there is a way out of being depressed and of being miserable, and that you will get better. And that's a lot of what idols have shown me. As cringe as it all is, they've helped me a lot, and they've helped me to realise a lot of things. And these songs on the radio are just, they're nothing like this. They do not show you, oh yeah, it's going to get better. Because I've recovered, and you're going to recover as well. And we're all going to be happy again one day when we work on it, and I'll do my best to show you how to do it. But instead they're like, well, I'm not depressed. You shouldn't be depressed because I love you. And that's literally, it's not helpful. It's not helpful at all. It offers no advice other than stop being single. I think if I was depressed and I listened to these songs, they would make me more depressed. Because, yeah, they don't offer any insightful advice like Kabushi Factory lyrics do or anything. They'd just be like, oh, but I love you. You shouldn't be sad because I love you. You may be depressed, but I am a human antidepressant. You shouldn't be depressed. It's kind of like weirdly self-centered, romanticizing depression, weird stuff. It's just not. It's not it. It doesn't help, and the songs are terrible. They're just miserable, and I wish I could turn the radio off every time they came on. If you're going to make a story, if you're going to make a song about recovery, can you at least make it uplifting? I don't want to hear someone whining. Another lyric that I like is from Kabushi Factory's Kore Karada. That was butchered, but I have had to edit this part of the video like 4 or 5 times at this point. And honestly, I don't even know if this is going to work. I've put a massive sticker over the video. I'm now talking over it and it's already muted. But literally every time I've done it, it's been taken down and blocked worldwide. So this is my current idea of how to get past it. And it's driving me insane. So I can only hope it's going to work. Maybe, hopefully, slightly. Basically, it starts from now is the English translation. And one of the lyrics in it is, whether you're down or depressed, the future starts from now. And that was another lyric that sticks with me. It's just a reminder that no matter how you're feeling, the world around you is still going to keep moving. And you can sit there in your little depression pit wallowing in your sadness, but the world's not going to change for you. It's going to carry on, and you'll get left behind. And that sounds really depressing, but it's just, if you want things, you're like, oh, I can't wait for the future when I'm better and happy, and you realise the future starts from now. You can start getting better now, because the future is literally right now. No matter what mood you're in, you have the ability to work on your future now, and you have the ability to start your recovery now. And it sounds really dumb. I don't know how else to word it, but it's just like, I heard that and I was just like, you're right. I can't sit here and mope all day about how terrible I'm feeling. You know, this is my future right now as it's happening, and I have to do something about it. J-pop idols have inspired me and helped me with my mental health recovery like nothing else has. They've taught me a lot of life lessons and given me, you know, songs and lyrics that will stay in my heart forever. And I'm being cringe and getting emotional, but like, you know, I made a whole list of like, if you're feeling like this, listen to this song. Because some of those songs are just so good. The thing is with J-pop idols is they're all about improvement and growth, and that is very much reflected in their lyrics and in their songs. And as a result, the songs that they produce, a lot of them can be incredibly inspiring and also incredibly uplifting and just happy. They make you want to dance, but they also make you think, damn, I've got to get my life together. You know, if these girls can recover from whatever they've been going through, so can I. And that's the feeling that I get watching them and listening to these songs. And I wish that we, like, Western music and the crap we hear on the radio would, you know, perhaps take that on board and think about writing songs about recovery that don't sound depressing and also are from the perspective of the person fighting, from the person recovering who is taking their life back, rather than the person who's like, oh, but I could fix you. It's not helpful, and it's not helping people. I'm being all whiny now myself, but I'm very passionate about this, and I will rant to anyone who will listen to me about how awful these songs on the radio are. If I have to listen to bloody Better Days again. I even bonded with my co-worker over our shared hatred of that song after our own mental health crises or whatever. It's just, it's just bad. And there's so many things wrong with it. Like, why are you waiting for a train that's not going to arrive? Go get the bus. Go get another one. Go get a taxi. Why are you still at the train station? If it's not coming, just go do something else. It's just full of terrible metaphors. Like, my number one advice when it comes to mental health and depression and anxiety in particular is that you need to do things. It will be incredibly difficult, but you've got to force yourself, because you will not make progress. You will not shine like a diamond until you do things. There is no magical depression fairy that's going to come along and fix you. It is something that you have to spend a lot of time and energy working on. It is something that you have to work incredibly hard for, but it will be worth it in the end. And once you start feeling happier again, you know, it's amazing, and you're like, wow, how did I get there? How did I ever get so low? And you never want anyone else to feel that way again. And behold my most cringe video yet. Actually, I don't know, a lot of them are cringe.
追いつばるく忙しいだけ結果も出せず頑張った気で